A news hour tonight. Truck drivers block highway in Plateau over colleagues' alleged killing. Kano government addresses court ruling on Sanusi's reinstatement. Wike pledges non-interference in Rivers Assembly affairs. On the foreign scene, United States expels South African ambassador, escalating diplomatic tensions. Good evening and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. In Plateau State, truck and tanker drivers on Saturday morning blocked the popular Marambanjama axis, protesting the alleged killing of a colleague by personnel of the Nigerian police force. Trust TV reports that the murdered driver, Balarabe Mohammed, was allegedly killed on Friday night, despite paying the 500 naira demanded by the police. Adomusa completes the report.
The incident led to a gridlock as drivers who were waiting for the 9 p.m. heavy truck movement blocked both the lengths of the road, insisting that justice must be done before they leave the road. Spokesperson of the State Police Command, DSP Alabo Alfred, was yet to respond to inquiries about the incident at the time of filing this report. Haruna Ahmad, a driver who witnessed the incident, narrated that the incident occurred after the late driver paid 500 naira as demanded by the police. He added that despite paying the money, a police officer who came from afar took a bamboo and hit the driver on the head, killing him instantly. The incident occurred at the last checkpoint here in Maraban Jama'a on our way to Port Harcourt. The police officers stationed at the checkpoint asked us to pay the money, which we did. After collecting the money, one of the officers believed to be their leader told us to remove the barricades and continue our journey. As soon as the deceased was about to remove the barricade, a police officer stormed the area and hit him with a bamboo on the head after collecting what they have asked for. What offense did he commit to deserve this? What crime did he commit? Justice must be served. We arrive here in the night, and this is what is happening to us. This kind of humiliation is what we are experiencing. They collected our money and still killed one of us. We are calling on the federal government to look into the frequent killing and intimidation against us. We want the government to investigate this barbaric killing because it is uncalled for. Other drivers who spoke at the scene of the incident alleged that they are often extorted by security agents stationed around the area. They added that security agents collect money from them whenever they pass through and call on the Inspector General of Police to ensure justice for the deceased while prevent further occurrences of such crimes against them. Ado Musa reporting for Trust TV.
In Kano State, following Friday's appeal court ruling on the Emirates Tussle, the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Haruna Issa Dederi, has clarified that journalists that the court did not quash its previous judgment. Addressing journalists, Dederi said the court merely stayed its execution pending the Supreme Court's ruling. Hours later, representative of the complainants, Aminu Baba Dangudi, stated that the court's ruling meant those appointed under the repealed Kano Emirates Council law must vacate their positions.
For the avoidance of any doubt, the Court of Appeal that entertained the application of Alhaji Aminu Baba Dang Agundi did not set aside the judgment the same court delivered on the 10th of January 2025. The judgment is still valid and subsisting until the determination of the appeal before the Supreme Court of Nigeria.
It's very, very clear Anybody who can read English knows this very, very clear. Maintain status quo ante. Maintaining status quo ante bellum. That is before all this problem of I being going to court as a result of the repeal of the law. And what is the position? The position is that Elijah Aminu Ado Bayero, His Royal Highness, is the Emir of Kano and all the other emirs.
Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has declared that he never betrayed the People's Democratic Party PDP's ex-presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. El-Rufai made the remark while praying that opposition leaders like Atiku, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, Rivers ex-Governor Rotimi Amechi, and Rauf Aregbesola should join the Social Democratic Party SDP. Here's more in this report.
The former governor, who recently dumped the All Progressives Congress APC for SDP, disclosed this while speaking with BBC Hausa service. In a recent interview with BBC Hausa, El-Rufai pleaded with key politicians to join SDP to defeat President Bola Tinubu in 2027. My wishes and prayers are that Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Rotimi Amici, Rauf Aregbesola, and all opposition leaders will come and join the SDP and not to form a merger or to register a new political party. What pains me is that we supported and had confidence in the ability of this government to do well. El-Rufai clarified that his presidential political ambition in 2027 would depend on the party and the will of the people. It is not for me to decide. It is the party and the people that will decide. Even when I was contesting for governor, it was people that met and convinced Muhammadu Buhari. The former governor also declared that he never betrayed the People's Democratic Party PDP's ex-presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. I never betrayed Atiku Abubakar because we didn't meet in politics. We met at work. In work, if I see that you didn't do well, whoever you are, I will tell you. Responding to El-Rufai, the presidency on Friday said that the 2027 general election was not Tinubu's current focus, but how to improve the economic conditions of every Nigerian. Tinubu's special advisor on media and public communications, Sunday Dare, in a statement on X on Friday said President Tinubu is not worried about the next election, but about the shared prosperity that he can bring to Nigerians.
Still on the matter, the Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development, Abdullahi Atta, has strongly criticized the former Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, over his recent remarks against the leadership of the All Progressives Congress APC and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. In a statement signed by his aide, Sheyi Olorunshola, the minister accused El-Rufai of engaging in political mischief following his failure to secure a ministerial appointment. He described the former governor as a rabble-rouser whose political career has been defined by controversy, divisive policies, and opportunism. Atta noted that El-Rufai's tenure as Kaduna governor was marked by rising insecurity, ethnic and sectarian violence, and controversial decisions, including his admission to paying foreign Fulani militias. He argued that El-Rufai's recent defection to the Social Democratic Party SDP was a desperate attempt to remain politically relevant. The minister also dismissed El-Rufai's claim that President Tinubu was behind crisis in opposition parties, calling it an illogical assertion. Joining us to discuss this situation further, and that's virtually, is Jide Ojo, a political analyst. Good evening, Jide Ojo. Thank you for joining us on the News Hour tonight.
Good evening, Chiamaka. It's my pleasure.
I'm sure you're aware of the happenings in the political scene. But now El-Rufai is left and joined the SDP, and he's asking Peter Obi, Atiku, and Rauf, and the rest of them to join him. Is it a likelihood? Do we see that happening?
Well, in politics, nothing is impossible. Nothing is beyond the occurrence. don't forget that Rauf Aregbe in expelled from APC in Osun, and Peter Obi is rudderless now. He is neither in the Labour Party voting. And I think who is on 2027. So it's interesting that Rufai is calling on people I will consider to be spent force to join him in SDP. Does that mean that APC is not performing? I don't think so. I think APC hasn't even gotten up to mid-term of the administration, not until another 2 months. That's when you'll be talking of midterm. And when you look at the rot that was left behind by the Buhari administration, it will take a lot of willpower, a lot of meticulous planning to get things on track. The president spoke with the Catholic Archbishops Conference some few days ago, and he did say that if he didn't take the decision he took in May 2023, the country will have gone bankrupt. So definitely the situation is not palatable, the rising cost of living and all of that. But I recall, Chiamaka, that the three frontline candidates in 2023 all promised to remove fuel subsidy. The only thing that we didn't know is whether they were going to float the currency as tinubu has done. But as it may, I believe that by middle of next year, we will know whether Tinubu has failed or is on track with his reform agenda. But right now, comment is free, opinions are free, but facts are sacred. I believe that if Nasir El-Rufai had gotten a chair at the table, if he had been made the Minister of Power, as was speculated, I don't think he will have been making all these uncharitable remarks about the current administration.
Okay, so
but you see, the popular adage is when you are eating, you don't talk. He's not eating, so he can afford to comment, he can afford to talk, he can afford to sermonize, he can afford to hold press conferences and even issue press statements. But for those who are lucky to be in the cabinet, you hardly will hear them complain about the state of play in our politics.
Mr. Ojo, so I take it back, if you're towing this thought pattern or line of thought, that you're agreeing with the Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development, Abdullahi Atta, that El-Rufai is acting out because he didn't get that ministerial position he wanted or aspired to.
Yeah, that's my own belief. When you are eating, you don't talk. If you had gotten the ministerial appointment like that minister said, he wouldn't be making all these remarks about Tinubu administration. This administration that is less than 2 years in office, and whether we want to admit it or not, he has lost out even at his base in Kaduna. Let's go by statistics. When he was substantive governor of Kaduna for 8 years, in his second term, there was an election on March 2023. What was the performance of El-Rufai as a sitting governor? The APC lost the 3 senatorial districts, lost 9 of, I think 9 out of 14 House of Reps position. APC only won 2 or 3 seats. He lost majority of the state assembly seats. He even, Ubasani that won by merely 1,000 votes. So as the sitting governor could not even win the state for the president, then you don't have a claim to make. The reason why Nyesom Wike is made a minister was because for the first time in the political history of Nigeria since 1999, Rivers State was won by a opposition party, that is APC. It has never happened that any or any other party will win the presidential election in Rivers State. Nyesom Wike made that happen and he was duly rewarded. But in the case of Nasir El-Rufai, he did not actually win the state for the president. Atiku Abubakar won with over 200,000 over and above what APC presidential candidate won. And like even Ubasani, who was his godson, managed to win by just mere 11,000 votes. Okay. The 3 senatorial districts were won by opposition PDP. Majority of the seats in House of Reps were won by PDP, and even the staters said, so what is the bargaining right that he wants to have? And this is somebody who is now in SDP. What influence do you think he will have in SDP? How many serving senator, serving governor, or serving minister, or even House of Reps or State House of Assembly member would defect with El-Rufai to SDP? So he could only call on people who are out of power, like Aregbesola, like Peter Obi, like Atiku Abubakar, to join forces with him. That's not to say that if there is an implosion in APC today, that SDP will not reap. After all, I'm sure in the coming days, El-Rufai's son, who is in the House of Reps, will likely join his father in SDP, and that would be one of the elected reps that he's been able to bring on board in the new party.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Jidejo. We'll see what happens as this event turns out, or rather takes place. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on News Hour.
It's my pleasure. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep safe and stay blessed.
And you too. Thank you. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has said he will not stop the Rivers State House of Assembly from performing its constitutional duties. Wike said he foresaw the current political crisis in the state and advised his successor, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, to take that route. But the latter refused, surrounding himself with people whom he described as ingrates. Here's more in this report. Wike stated this during the Thanksgiving civic reception held on Saturday in Abalama in Asari Toro local government area of Rivers State by some Ijaw stakeholders under the aegis of New Associates Kalabari. He berated the governor for withholding the salaries and allowances of the Martin Amewule-led 27 lawmakers because those supporting him told him nothing would happen.
You can abuse me as much as you want. And let me tell you, I've never bothered myself. Abuse they kill anybody. You don't see who abuse don't kill. What is important is the result, is it not? Not now who get high blood pressure. Not with them. We would sit down, then jog, then they get high blood pressure. And this is what I was avoiding. So look, don't go through this route. You want, they told you to seize assembly members, their salaries and allowances for more than 1 year. These people have no income to pay their children's school fees, to feed their family, and you are jubilating. You are jubilating. People were encouraging you. Nothing would happen. Nothing would happen. Something has happened.
While noting that many of the projects in the state, including the Ring Road, were initiated by him and handed over to the governor to endear himself to the Rivers people, he challenged the governor to mention one that he initiated.
In a very council meeting of Rivers State, I brought him to sit down in the executive council meeting. This project must be done. Therefore, we will take money from Senate Bank. This is how much you'll be paying every month. This project will sell it to the people of Rivers. All these ones that are going about now were all my initiatives. And I thought that we are working together. I have handed over this to you. Go ahead. Let them tell me what initiative they have put on ground.
Recall that the Assembly on Friday adjourned its sittings indefinitely just when the governor had written to the Speaker informing the House of his intentions to present the 2025 appropriation bill to the lawmakers on Wednesday, March 19, 2025. Still in Rivers State, the Secretary to the Government of the state, Tami Donogogo, has cautioned that Governor Similayo Fubara's calm and peaceful approach to governance should not be mistaken for weakness. He warned amid criticism from opponents of the governor, especially the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Opponents had criticized Donogogo's role in Fubara's administration, particularly his decision to sign the letter inviting lawmakers for a meeting with the governor. Wike had described Donogogo's letter as useless. Speaking with journalists during the commissioning of Okrika Grammar School in Okrika, Donogogo argued that there was nothing wrong with the SSG writing a letter for an informal meeting. He clarified that such communication was within his official responsibilities and not an overreach of his position. Donogogo, a lawyer from the Kalabari region who also served as SSG during Wike's second tenure as governor, noted that he carried out similar duties under the former administration. Earlier, before Wike's arrival, angry Ijaw women of Kalabari extraction on Saturday vandalized a giant billboard bearing the pictures of the minister. The billboard, which was erected at the junction leading to Abalama, was in honor of Wike, who is being hosted to a grand reception by the Ijaw stakeholders under the platform of new associates. The reception was coming amidst protests from traditional rulers and people of Kalabari over a scheduled IYC Eastern Zone meeting at the same venue. Hundreds of women decked in black attire with white headgears in the early hours of Saturday barricaded the road leading to the Abalama with the intention of denying the minister access to the community. The angry women had also destroyed billboards bearing the pictures of the minister. The protesters were armed with placards bearing some inscriptions such as, "Kalabari, take your stand now. Wike, what do you want in Kalabari land?" The protesters were later dispatched by security personnel that accompanied the FCT minister to Abalama, the venue of the reception. Cultural needs, poverty, and other related factors have been identified as key factors responsible for the increase in the maternal mortality rate in Kaduna State. According to health experts addressing maternal mortality rate and the gap in access to healthcare service, especially family through family planning, will contribute to improved quality of care and long-term growth in Nigeria. They, however, believe that this could only be achieved when traditional leaders, women, health service providers, and other stakeholders collectively work together to address healthcare gaps, economic barriers to women, and maternal mortality rate in Kaduna State. Trust TV's Bella Musa completes the report.
Access to health care service by people, especially women at the rural communities, is worrisome due to poverty and other factors. Hence, women prefer patronizing patents and medicine vendors for maternal, child spacing services and others. However, this puts the lives of many women at the rural level at risk, as many of those service providers and medicine vendors lack basic training to offer such vital service.
Most of the people who go for family planning services are women. They will be much more comfortable talking to women also for those services.
There are people who are better medicine vendors, but they are only secondary school leavers. Some are even primary school certificate holders. And those are limited in terms of services they can provide.
According to experts, the maternal mortality rate in Kaduna is still alarming.
Just like federal government has done an assessment, and Kaduna State is one of the states with the large number of LGAs with very high maternal mortality. It means over 1,000 women are dying out of every 100,000 women that have given birth in Kaduna State. And this is not a figure that anybody will be happy with.
Bridging the gap in healthcare services requires collaborative effort by ensuring qualified providers meet the accreditation standard and licensing.
What we realize is, yes, there is a lot of drive towards improving reproductive health among women, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa and northwestern Nigeria. And most of our citizens get their drugs or their commodities from these patent medical vendors or from the chemists, to ensure that all these PPMVs are registered, they are competent, they have the skill to actually function in Kaduna State and sell and dispense these commodities over the counter.
Stakeholders say to address the challenges of maternal maternity, child spacing and others, in Kaduna State, there is need to improve healthcare facilities at the primary and secondary health facilities. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
As part of the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu, particularly in the health sector, several initiatives have brought ease to many Nigerians, one of them being the approval for subsidy on kidney dialysis. The subsidy has seen a reduction for each session from 50,000 to 12,000 naira across all government hospitals in 36 states of the Federation. In this report, Trust TV's Victoria Tokolo speaks to medical practitioners at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Idiaraba, on the President's initiative as well as its potential benefits for individuals who are suffering from kidney failure. Her report is presented from our studio.
The cost of kidney dialysis is quite high, not just in Nigeria but globally, as patients often pay out of pocket to enable them access dialysis treatment. While some may start dialysis, after a few sections, they are unable to pay for further sections, and that ultimately results in loss of lives. However, medical professionals at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Idiaraba, says President Tinubu's intervention on kidney dialysis will significantly reduce the cost of dialysis and increase the proportion of patients with kidney failure who are unable to access dialysis and access it for a longer period of time.
Quite a large number of Nigerians have kidney disease that require dialysis, and majorly two diseases actually are associated with the kidney disease, hypertension, diabetes, and quite many Nigerians are suffering from it. For those who are diagnosed, they need to do dialysis, pending many of them, pending time that they need to do for those who can afford the transplant. And of course, they need to do it so often that quite a large number of them are not able to afford it. And quite a large number are from those socioeconomic background and also middle class. So this initiative is it's on the spot, and I believe that it is what is required at this particular point in time.
Kidney disease, the more common form is what we refer to as chronic kidney disease. That's one that leads to kidney failure in the long term if untreated. The most common causes are complications of infections. We call them glomerulonephritis, hypertension, and diabetes. Okay, but increasingly as people are getting older, we are seeing people who are developing kidney disease as a result of prostate problems. We are also seeing a lot of people with HIV infection who are coming up with.
The Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Loth, has its dialysis center facilities in the Lion Isiaq Olushola Dada building. The ground floor accommodates the dialysis center, which is equipped with 16 dialysis machines and is currently providing treatments for all patients that are in need of dialysis. Babawale further speaks on the importance of raising awareness for kidney disease, as early detection will significantly reduce the burden of individuals who have kidney disease.
People who don't have any illness, we want them to remain healthy. We know that the commonest causes are things like hypertension and diabetes. We know that by adopting healthy lifestyle, exercise, weight reduction, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, avoiding refined sugars, you can reduce the chances that you will develop hypertension and diabetes. Once you reduce that risk, you reduce the risk of having kidney disease from those conditions.
As part of preventing kidney diseases, medical professionals lay much emphasis on the importance of prioritizing one's health and also being intentional about maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
We also launch news hour on Trust TV, still to come. Traders express mixed reactions over impact of Ramadan fast on businesses. More when we return, please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. We told you that truck drivers block highway in Plateau State over a colleague's alleged killing. Also told you that Kano government addresses court ruling on Sanusi's reinstatement. Two more stories. Nigerian Air Force says airstrikes from operatives in Katsina State have decimated notorious criminal hideouts in Ngorgoga Hill Forest in Ruwan Godia Ward of Faskari local government area of the state. The operation, carried out by the air component of Operation Fatumyama in the early hours of Thursday, targeted the fortified camps of two notorious bandit kingpins, Geru Alhaji and Alhaji Riga. A statement on Friday night by the Deputy Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force, Group Captain Kabiru Ali, said the airstrike successfully neutralized over 20 bandits, with additional casualties reported in the surrounding rocky hills. Ali said Riga and Geru were key enablers of banditry in the region, providing shelter for terrorist elements responsible for deadly ambushes along the Funtoguso Road, particularly between Yankara and Sheme villages. He added that their elimination is seen as a major breakthrough in the ongoing military campaign to restore peace in the northwest. To the security matters over in Nasarawa State, the police command says it has killed a notorious kidnapper in Akwanga local government area of the state. The police public relations officer, SP Ramahan Nansel, in the state disclosed this in a statement to journalists on Saturday in the state capital of Lafia. He said the feat was achieved through a joint patrol team of its personnel. The army and local vigilantes will neutralize the leader of a kidnapping and robbery gang operating in the area. According to the police spokesman, items recovered during a search operation included one Beretta pistol without a bridge number and 12 rounds of 9mm live ammunition. The PPRO added that one of his accomplices managed to escape with gunshot wounds, while a manhunt is currently underway to apprehend the fleeing suspect. He said the deceased has been evacuated to the Akwanga General Hospital mortuary for post-mortem examination. In Anambra State, the government has placed a ban on the use of mobile phones by students in secondary schools across the state. The chairman of the Post-Primary School Service Commission in the state, Nkechi Ikediego, made the announcement at the Anambra Schools Cultural Day celebration on Friday in Awka, the state capital. Ikediego, according to reports, directed principals and teachers of secondary schools in the state to confiscate mobile phones brought to school by students. She said the decision was aimed at curbing distractions and enhancing academic performance. Ikediego stated that there was the need to maintain discipline and focus in learning environments, noting that the increasing use of mobile phones by students during school hours had become a serious distraction to their studies. She emphasized the beauty and uniqueness of Igbo traditions, describing them as valuable identities that should be cherished. The Governing Council of Usmanu Danfodio University, Sokoto, has dismissed 3 staff members for gross misconduct, including resort alteration, sexual harassment, and abscondment from duty. The decision was approved during the university's 171st regular meeting on March 12, 2025, and announced in an official press release signed by the institution's Director of Information and Public Relations, Ismail Yodi. According to the statement, the disciplinary action aligns with the university's strict zero-tolerance policy for unethical behavior. The university, one of northern Nigeria's leading universities, has consistently emphasized ethical standards among its staff and students. The latest dismissal serves as a warning against violations of the institution's code of conduct. Meanwhile, students have reacted with mixed opinions, with some commending the university's firm stance on discipline, while others called for more transparency in handling such cases. Traders in Kano State have been speaking on the impact of the Ramadan fast has on their businesses, especially in today's tough economic climate. While some business owners are struggling to stay afloat, others are finding opportunities amidst the challenges of the economy and the Ramadan. Trust TV's Abdulaziz Ibrahim reports.
From the neighborhood tea seller to the mixed fruit vendors on the streets whose stores remain open late into the night and early hours of each day. The Ramadan period is a high for some small business owners and a low for others. 32-year-old Sunusi Abdul Hamid has been serving tea, noodles and eggs to customers during both sahur and iftar for several years. With the current economic challenges, he says patronage is lower than he's ever seen before. In the past, even outside you wouldn't find space because people bought a lot of fast food both for sahur and for breaking their fast. But this year, at sahur time in the morning, sometimes we wait without any customers. Our appeal to the government is that the prices of most of these commodities should be reduced so that it will be easier for us to do our business. I believe the prices of apples are fair, with one selling for 400 naira and another selling for 500 naira. However, people don't have money, which is why they can't buy. While some complain of sluggish sales, others are seeing an increase in demand for Ramadan-related foods. Idris Muhammad, who spoke on how he improved his mixed fruit business, says he spends more to prepare the package, but he is able to meet up in profit due to increased patronage. We add a lot of ingredients that we left out before fasting due to the hike in prices. So our profit on each sale is not much, but people seem to love it and we sell a lot at iftar time. While some are able to make adjustments, many small business owners are struggling with reduced patronage due to the rising cost of living. Dahiru Musa is one of those traders who says he has used up part of his capital for daily expenses, while others have been forced to shut down entirely. Sincerely, this year there has been low patronage and we don't have as much capital as we did last year. In the past, during fasting, I could sell up to 2 to 3 bags in a day, but now even the little I'm able to display doesn't attract many buyers. Whatever the government can do for us, in all fairness, they should, as we need capital. As plantain sellers, we had to reduce the prices as much as possible because people buy a lot during this period. But there isn't much money in circulation. We don't make as much profit as we should. As the holy month progresses, businesses will continue to navigate these challenges. Small business owners say they need long-term solutions, including access to financial support and policies that ease the cost of doing business. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
As Muslims around the world observe the holy month of Ramadan, laborers in Jigawa State are finding ways to balance their faith with the demands of their jobs. Despite the challenges of fasting in the hot northern Nigerian sun, many workers are adopting strategies to stay strong and focused throughout the day. Trust TV's Ali Rabiu Ali completes the story.
Artisans and laborers in Jigawa State are particularly vulnerable to the effects of dehydration, which can cause headache, tiredness, and difficulty in concentration. To cope, many are adjusting their work schedules to avoid the hottest parts of the day. Employers are also taking steps to support their fasting employees via provision of extra breaks, flexible work hours, and access to cool drinking water. This is our daily work. I spent over 15 years doing it. If you aren't familiarizing yourself with it, you won't be able to do it. Right now, I'm getting dehydrated because of fasting, and the hardship in this period is not making things easy at all. This is what we do to cater for our families. Fasting or not, we must come out and do the work. This is my work, so I always come here to earn a living. Anyone who is doing this type of work cannot resist doing it during this period of fasting. And we do this job as part of our daily activities. So no matter the fact that we are fasting, we still do it because we are enjoying it. And I work as a laundryman. We open early in the morning and in the evening because of the fasting period. We are just managing to stay afloat this time. Despite the challenges, many workers say fasting during Ramadan brings them closer to their faith and gives them a sense of community and purpose. As the holy month of Ramadan continues, Nigeria workers will continue to find ways to balance their faith with the demands of their jobs, relying on their resilience, community, and faith to see them through. From Jigawa, Ali Rabiu Ali, Trust TV News.
President Bola Tinubu has reiterated that he's neither a religious bigot nor driven by religious bias, emphasizing his commitment to national unity and security. During a meeting with the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, CBCN, at the State House, Tinubu noted that insecurity and poverty affect all Nigerians, regardless of religion. The report.
The president stressed the importance of collaborative efforts to address these issues and pledged to maintain an open-door policy for dialogue with all religious groups.
Poverty has no religious basis. It has no religious connotation, no identity. It affects all. And we must fight it together. I've been a good example as the governor of Lagos State. I've returned all the religious mission schools. When we look at the possibility of a committee, because when you look at the constitutional democracy, it is tough.
On security, the president noted that his government was making progress in tackling insecurity, which according to him affects Christians and Muslims alike.
This insecurity, everyone is affected, Christian, Muslim alike. And I have no religious behind. But, I won't be a bigot. My wife is a pastor of Redeemed Christian Church, Faith.
Leader of the delegation, Lucius Ugaji, congratulated Tinubu on his election and acknowledged the challenges posed by his economic policy. He called for more efforts to restore public confidence, improve security, and ensure religious harmony.
Your government's policy mantra is anchored on the principles of renewed hope. In this regard, we are pleased to inform you that the Holy Father, Pope Francis, has declared this year as the Year of Hope, the Jubilee Year of Hope, a theme we adopted for our conference. We came with the final fruits of our deliberations and we share them with you.
Responding to the bishop's request for the return of mission schools taken over by the government, Tinubu explained that such decisions were under the jurisdiction of state governments.
Digital skills have become essential for economic growth and personal development. Nations with a tech-savvy population often enjoy higher purchasing power and sustainable livelihoods. Recognizing this, the Jigawa State government, through its Empowerment and Employment Agency in partnership with the World Bank, sponsored 551 youths to undergo diploma programs in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and other ICT-related fields at Bayes University. Here's more.
During the graduation ceremony, Governor Namadi reaffirmed his commitment to youth empowerment and self-reliance. As part of this commitment, the governor also announced that all graduates will receive laptops to support their digital careers and businesses.
It is in our effort to ensure that we have empowered our youth, that we have collaboration with the World Bank under ideas to sponsor this student to reach diploma in these courses in Bayes University at the cost of over 100 million naira. This money is a collaboration between World Bank and the Jigawa State government. The World Bank has undertaken to pay 85 million naira, while the Jigawa State government will pay 15 million naira. This has already been paid. It is our hope that these two groups of young men and women, those that have learned the art of improving their no-no business, will continue to work very hard to ensure that they sustain this business.
Similarly, the Director General of the Empowerment and Employment Agency, Habib Muhammad Ubali, highlighted the agency's continuous efforts in equipping thousands of youths with skills for economic independence.
When the certificate diploma
You know how prestigious a certificate from best university is and how much it costs to study there. Due to the kindness of Governor Umar Namadi, who like a father has paid for you to study there for free, you now have this opportunity.
Being a proudly participant of IDS program in a course of cybersecurity, sir, we really appreciate all your efforts in all the empowerment of education technology. It is our gratitude, our honor. Thank you so much, sir, for your gratitude.
We are happy with this empowerment. It will boost my business, and I hope that one day this business of mine will grow.
This initiative marked a significant step in Jigawa State's ambition to reclaim its position as a leader in ICT, a status it once held in the early 2000s.
When we return from the break, business, foreign and sports. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's get to business. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has received additional crude oil supply from the federal government as it was guarded on Friday that large volumes of crude oil shipments were being delivered to the plant as part of efforts to promote local refining. The supply comes amidst a fresh price reduction at the refinery, loading gantry from 825 naira per litre to 815 naira per litre. Dealers confirmed the development, stating that the competition in the downstream oil sector had become fierce. They also noted that the supply of crude oil to Dangote Refinery highlights the crucial role of supporting local refining efforts that contribute significantly to domestic refineries' operations while also boosting their production capacities. A highly placed source of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, who confirmed the delivery on Friday, said the crude oil vessels had sailed to the $20 billion Lekki-based plant. Another source noted that the cargoes originally scheduled for delivery last week were delayed and remained at sea due to uncertainty surrounding the Naira for crude deal at that time. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lopobiri, has reiterated the federal government's resolve to boost investments in oil and gas sector. He gave the assurance when he toured the Total Energies offshore fields at Ofon and Egina as part of a one-day familiarization visit. The visit was intended to inform the Minister of Total Energies investment plans, ongoing projects and challenges faced by the company in the areas of capex and community relations. In his remarks at the end of the tour, Lopobiri commended the company for being a shining example of what federal government expects from international oil companies. The minister, however, noted that the government is not unmindful of the problems of the international oil companies, IOCs. On the foreign scene, the South African presidency on Saturday said the expulsion of its ambassador to the United States, Ibrahim Rasool, is regrettable. The presidency disclosed this in a short statement published on X on Saturday. While calling for decorum on both sides to resolve the matter as soon as possible, the statement noted that South Africa remains committed to building a mutually beneficial relationship with the United States of America. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio took to X on Friday to declare that Rasool is no longer welcome in the United States. The death toll from Cyclone Jude that hit northern Mozambique last week has risen to at least 16 people, according to a new toll released on Saturday by the National Institute of Meteorology. At least 2 people are still missing and nearly 60 have been injured, a father said. Cyclone Jude hit the country's Indian Ocean coast on Monday, bringing winds of up to 195 kilometers an hour and more than 250 millimeters of rain over 24 hours. The National Institute of Meteorology said it is the third cyclone to strike impoverished Mozambique in 4 months. In December, Cyclone Chido struck the Portuguese-speaking country, causing the deaths of at least 120 people and destroyed almost 120,000 homes, according to official data. In mid-January, Cyclone Dikiledi caused the deaths of at least 5 people and destroyed nearly 3,500 homes. Still on foreign scene, Nigeria's military rulers have expelled 3 Chinese oil executives from the country and closed down a Chinese-run hotel, according to media reports and an official decree on Friday. Several Nigerian media reported that authorities had given 2 days' notice to leave the country to the Chinese managers from the China National Petroleum Corporation, CNPC, which is drilling for crude in the country, the refining company Soraz, and pipeline operator WAPCO. The report cited no reason for the move, but an online commentator close to the regime, Ibrahim Bana, said the executives had ignored the authorities' demands for measures to ensure Nigerians benefit from the oil extraction. Separately, a decree from the Tourism Ministry, seen by AFP, revoked the license for the 4-star Solix International Hotel, accusing the Chinese-owned business of discriminatory practices and fiscal irregularities. The hotel opened in 2015 and mostly houses workers for the 3 companies targeted by the expulsions. The military regime took power in Niger in a coup in 2023 and has vowed to secure revenues from its mining and oil resources. In sports, the Nigeria's Flamingos defeated South Africa 2-0 in the second leg of their 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup second-round qualifying tie in Ikenne on Saturday. Bankole Oluokore's side sealed a place in the final qualifying round with a 5-1 aggregate win. Harmony Chidi broke the deadlock with Nigeria 8 minutes before the break. Chidi also scored twice in the first leg last weekend in Pretoria. The Flamingos doubled their advantage through Aishat Animasha in 11 minutes after the break. Nigeria will face the winner of the game between Botswana and Algeria in the final round. Finally, in sports, Super Eagles head coach Eric Chelle will lead the team's backroom staff to Kigali on Sunday for the crucial 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against the Amavubi of Rwanda. The team's camp for the clash with Adel Amorosha's side will also open in Kigali on Sunday. Chelle released a 23-man squad for the game and the March Day 6 fixture against the Warriors of Zimbabwe on Tuesday. The Super Eagles will face the Amavubi at the Amahoro Stadium, Kigali, next week Friday. The 3-time African champions are still searching for their first win in the qualifying series. They occupy 5th position in Group C with 3 points from 4 games. That's it for News Hour tonight on Trust TV. For more of our news, programs and documentaries, do follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube Live. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good night.
From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.